Good evening, traders. Zach here from the Trading Network. Hope you guys are doing well. It is Sunday, January 24th, and I have another weekly market profile forecast for everybody. So before we get into the weekly profile, quickly just wanted to show you guys what we're working with here session-wise. So you can see current low for the overnight session opening tonight is actually right at Friday's POC, one tick above Friday's POC and one tick below Friday's initial balance high. So pretty bullish so far. We did just test the naked point of control from the January 21st regular trading hour session. Hasn't been closed because it has not been touched yet in a regular trading hour session, but it is looking pretty good for the bulls thus far. So most immediately, for those of you guys who are trading the Globex session, I'd be looking at these levels as upside targets if we can hold this current low. And you can also see that that coincides with the low from the 21st as well, which is pretty good confluence. So aside from that, these three upside targets, I would be looking for obviously a move back down to Friday's low and the Thursday into Friday overnight session low at 38.13 if we cannot hold above 38.37. So let's dig into the weekly profile here. You can see that I have the weekly profile here for ES up, and each one of these profiles represents 1 week of regular trading hours price action. So looking at last week's profile, you can see that the low of last week was actually right at the high of the week of the December 28th profile. Now, aside from that, you can see that the value areas for these weekly profiles have, generally speaking, been moving up. And we've had value areas moving up for quite some time. Moving out here, you can see that this chart goes all the way back to the beginning of October, and we have just been moving and grooving to the upside, as we say. So with that said, long term or on the higher time frame charts, we are looking at a continuation of the uptrend. So I will be looking for the value area on this week's profile to continue to move up. And if we can, at the very least hold above the previous value area, so you can see here's the value area from last week, 38.53 to 37.91, and the low, value area low from last week is coinciding with that monthly VPOC there. So that is a major area, and if we can hold above that area, I think that we will probably make our move to 3,900 sooner than later. So that's what I will have my eye on. You can see that right now we're at 38.46, our current all-time high. Let me just double check here. I believe it is that 59.75 level. Yes, it is indeed. So, going back over to the weekly chart, we've got this level here. I can go over here. I'll plot this, 59.75. We've got this level here. Oops, wrong tool. And aside from that, we're in blue sky breakout territory again. So what we will be looking for is just continuation of the trend. If the value area continues to move up in the overnight session, you can see that the value area from the overnight profile, that's this brighter blue area right here from 38.40.25 to about 38.47.75. If value continues to move up, that means that the market is accepting price at fair value at a higher price, and trend is our friend at that point. We continue to go with the path of least resistance, and that is typically the easiest way to make money, especially in a market like this. So let's go over to the candlestick chart with the profile side by side here, and let's look at what we might have for these upside targets aside from this overnight high. So you can see this is how I determine further upside targets when we are in breakout territory around all-time highs. You can see I have these prior levels marked off already here. And that next higher level that we have is Fibonacci pivot R3 at 38.6650. So aside from that, depending on how we open within the regular trading hour session tomorrow morning, if we have an open within range and value, then we may be able to take Friday's range of 22.75 points and use one of the previous profile levels from Friday or from the overnight session to determine a measured move. Let's just play around here a little bit. Oh, look at that. So just as a little bit of mental masturbation here, if we take the range measurement from Friday of 22.75 points and we put that at the current low of the overnight session, which also coincides with Friday's POC, Friday's initial balance high, and Thursday's low, then that gives us a measured move right back to the all-time high, which is very interesting. Now, if we take this and we move it up here, look where that gives us a measured move to, around 38.6550, which is within 1 point of Fibonacci pivot R3. Pretty darn cool. So this is obviously a little early to determine where we're going to open tomorrow, but if we do open within range and value tomorrow, or within range, then we will likely be able to take a profile measurement from Friday and get a good estimation of a measured move of where our profile tomorrow will go. So keep that in mind. Keep an eye out for how we're opening. If we're going to open within range and value, that means that we will be opening within the range of 38.2975 to 38.40. And if we open within range, that means that we will be opening within 38.22 to the 38.45 level. So keep an eye on that. That's going to give us high probability determination of tomorrow's profile, depending on the open. And until then, I'm really just going to be taking it one level at a time. You know, for instance, if I was trading Globex right here, I would probably just be watching reaction to these profile levels. You know, if we can move and hold above this Thursday POC at 38.45, then I really like a move to 38.53. And if we can hold above that 38.49, you know, I think it's pretty smooth sailing back to all-time highs there. And probably R3, which is that 38.66 level. So I'm going to keep this video pretty short and sweet, pretty simple. You know, if value continues to move up, then the trend is our friend. We look for overall trend continuation on the weekly profile, and we look for value to move up on the session profile. Again, based on how we open tomorrow morning, we will likely be able to determine how our range will be suited for tomorrow, and that will give us a good determination of the next overnight profile as well. So just to reiterate what I'm referring to by calculating the next session's range, I've talked about this quite a few times, but for those of you who are new, to market profile, here's a quick reminder. If we open within the previous regular trading hour session's range and value, especially, that is a high probability indication that we are going to have a ranging day. Furthermore, that is also a high probability indication that we are going to have a range that is very similar to that previous session, but overlapping on one side. So overlapping on one side means something like this. You can see I'm taking this estimation again. We had a 22 3/4 point range on Friday. I'm using the ruler tool to measure this, and I am taking it and using one of the levels from Friday as the extreme, or as a possible extreme, for the session tomorrow. So if this is low of day tomorrow, then it's very likely we get a move up to 38.60, and that is close to our high of the day. If, for instance, we have Friday's value area high, a 38.40-ish as the low, then it's likely we get a move to 38.63. So this is how you can take those measured moves from previous levels in profiles in recent sessions, and you can determine measured moves from them. So this is very similar to like a measured move on a bull flag, or a typical candlestick measured move, but you can use this with the profile based on how we are opening in relation to the previous regular trading hour session. That is something that Jim Dalton talks about heavily in the book Mind Over Markets, which is a book that I would thoroughly recommend to anybody interested in getting into market profile and looking to utilize auction theory and these techniques to increase their edge in the market, whether you are a scalper, an options trader, or really anywhere in between. This type of analysis and way to read the market exceptionally increases your probability of trade opportunity every single time you look at a profile, determine how we are reacting in relation to previous market levels, previous highs, previous lows, if the value area is moving up, if the value area is moving down. That is using auction theory and determining where the market as a whole is viewing a fair price, a expensive price, or a cheap price for the asset in question. So I know we went into a few things we don't normally talk about in regards to the weekly forecast, but I just want to start to introduce some more concepts for you guys, so you can broaden your horizons a little bit with the market profile and with auction theory in general. With all that said, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this content. Appreciate you taking the time to like, subscribe, and let me know what you think of these videos. If you do enjoy this content, please click like and subscribe down below. Also, check out the links in the description where you can find links to our free Facebook group, where you can find our free trade plans every day, Monday through Friday at New York Open. You can also get access to the tradingnetwork.io, where you can find more information about one-on-one mentorship with me, our private Discord server where you can watch me trade along with the Trading Network team every day, Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. You can also get information on the Trading Network Proprietary Indicator Package, which you see here in this video. And last but not least, you can get access to the Fundamentals of Futures Trading course and the Fundamentals of Futures Trading course bundles, which also include lifetime Discord access and access to our Proprietary Indicator Package. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch these videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.